and welcome to the session. Every great initiative begins with a simple yet powerful idea. Sarvottam was born from a vision to celebrate excellence, not merely as an achievement, but as a way of thinking, a commitment to raising the bar, inspiring others, and creating meaningful impact. At the heart of this vision is a leader who has consistently championed a culture of excellence, innovation, and continuous growth. It is his belief that recognizing and nurturing exceptional talent can inspire an entire organization to strive for greater heights. As we gather for this special occasion, we are truly fortunate to be guided by the vision of Ravi Narayanan, our MD and CEO, the visionary behind the philosophy of Sarvottam. As Sarvottam evolved, a new thought emerged. What if we could go beyond recognizing excellence and create opportunities to learn from inspiring journeys, transformative ideas, and remarkable experiences? That thought gave rise to the Sarvottam Masterclass, a platform designed to bring fresh perspectives, meaningful conversations, and valuable insights that help us learn, grow, and aspire to achieve our very best. Today marks the beginning of that exciting journey with the inaugural edition of Sarvottam Masterclass. It is a proud milestone in the evolution of Sarvottam and a testament to our commitment to fostering a culture of learning and excellence. On behalf of everyone gathered here and those joining us live from the branches, it gives me immense joy to extend a heartfelt welcome to our MD and CEO, Ravi Narayanan. Over to you, Ravi.
Hi, good afternoon. And all those who are watching us live in the state offices, regional offices, and the branches, welcome. And this is for you, for each one of you. I think it is important for all of us to realize that these are events which truly change who we are, what we do, and what we are capable of achieving. So good afternoon, everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome all of you to the inaugural session of Sarvottam Masterclass. Every success story that we admire has a journey behind it. A journey that is rarely visible to the outside world. You know, many of us, and myself, have come from very small towns, virtually a big village, so to speak. We have seen what it takes to achieve, strive to achieve, and have that purpose and conviction to make those efforts. And therefore, while people often celebrate achievements, they seldom witness the years of learning, perseverance, difficult decisions, setbacks, and resilience that shape an individual's path to success. So many things. Path to success, always remember, has enough cobbled stones for you to place your feet and move ahead. You just have to figure out where those stones are. Every accomplished person has faced moments of uncertainty, overcome challenges, and continued to evolve through continuous learnings. It is these experiences, more than the destination itself, that offer some of life's most valuable lessons. I think what is important for us is to build that foundation. And that foundation doesn't get built in few days or few weeks. That takes time. And that belief forms the foundation of Sarvottam Masterclass. At SMFG India Credit, we firmly believe that growth begins with learning. The moment we stop learning, we stop growing. Continuous learning enables us to evolve, not just as professionals, but as individuals too. When each one of us improves consistently, we build stronger teams, stronger businesses, and ultimately, as I always say, a strong institution. It is with this philosophy that we conceptualized this Sarvottam Masterclass, a unique platform that brings together accomplished individuals from diverse walks of life who have built their success through hard work, perseverance, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to continuous learning. Through this series, they will share these defining moments, challenges, experiences that shape their journeys, offering all of us very valuable insights that extend far beyond our day-to-day life. They will also share their joys, because there is no success if you don't find happiness in it. The objective of these sessions is not simply to hear these inspiring stories. No, it is not about stories. It is to understand the underlying mindset, the discipline, the determination that enable these individuals to achieve such excellence. By learning from people who have built successes from the ground up, we hope to inspire each one of you to continuously raise your own standards and strive for your own version of Sarvottam. We want every employee, each one of you, to leave each of these master classes, and we have many of them scheduled, with something meaningful, a fresh perspective, a new way of thinking, or a practical lesson that can be applied in both professional and personal life, something that resonates with you. Each one of you is different, but I'm sure you will find one gem, one nugget of information, one aha moment which you can make your own. We want you to gain a deeper understanding of how successful individuals navigate setbacks, very important in life. What is life? Life is a series of setbacks, right? And it tests you to jump out of it. So navigate these setbacks, these uncertainties, and change, and how resilience and continuous learning becomes the foundation of long-term success. Most importantly, we hope, and we truly hope, that these sessions nurture a mindset of curiosity, self-improvement, and lifelong learning. We want each one of you to have the confidence to think differently, challenge yourself, strive for excellence in everything you do, because that is Sarvottam. If every session inspires you to take back just that little one meaningful idea, one valuable perspective, or one lesson that helps you become a little better than yesterday, then the Sarvottam Masterclass will have achieved its singular purpose. Many of you may wonder why we chose the name Sarvottam Masterclass. For us, Sarvottam is much more than a word. It represents our commitment to continuously raising our own standards. It is about learning continuously, embracing new perspectives, challenging ourselves, refusing complacency, and striving every single day to become better than where we were yesterday. Every masterclass is another step in that journey, and every lesson we learn should bring us closer to achieving that excellence. It is therefore fitting that we begin this journey with someone whose own story reflects these very values. We are indeed today extremely delighted to welcome Ms. Kamya Jani, whose journey is a remarkable example of courage, resilience, curiosity, and continuous reinvention. Through her passion, perseverance, and restless pursuit of excellence, she has built one of India's most recognized travel and lifestyle brands. While her profession may be very different from ours, very different, the principles behind her success, discipline, resilience, continuous learning, and the courage to pursue one's passion are universal and relevant to each one of us. Kamya, thank you. Thank you for taking time to be with us today and for agreeing to share your journey with all of us, and especially all those people who are here virtually. We truly appreciate your presence, and I am confident that today's session will leave us with invaluable insights, fresh perspectives, and renewed inspiration to continue learning and raising our own standards. I do encourage each one of you to participate actively, ask questions, and most importantly, take back at least one meaningful lesson that you can apply in your own journey and own it. Kamya, on behalf of everyone at SMICC, SMFG India Credit, and SMHFC, the Housing Finance Company, welcome to Sarvottam Masterclass. We are honored to have you with us. Thank you, and I do hope all of you enjoy this journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that wonderful introduction. You know, people often ask me, how did you build Curly Tails? And I always disappoint them because they're expecting one big secret, but there isn't one. There were thousands of small decisions, some boring, some brave, some scary, but together they built the life that I have today. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kamya, but I think most of you know me as Curly Tails. When I heard the theme of this session was Sarvottam, one word that immediately came to my mind, and which is its literal meaning, is excellence. But excellence is a funny thing. People usually think excellence means being the smartest person in the room or someone who's getting right everything for the first time. But over a period of time, I have learned that excellence is actually about showing up every single day, learning, unlearning, adapting, and still choosing to be a better version of yourself than what you were yesterday. And in my view, the pursuit of Sarvottam is actually the pursuit of learning. Now, if I tell you a little bit about my life, you would probably think it's quite ordinary. I'm sure we all have seen the movie Ye Jawani Hai Diwani. And in that film, there's a dialogue which says, 22 tak padhai, 25 pe naukri, 26 pe chokri, 30 mein bacche, और 60 में retirement. और फिर, guys, you all remember the movie? They're very hardworking. They don't watch movies. और फिर मौत का इंतजार. That's the dialogue of the film. But my life pretty much has not been any different. In fact, in terms of timelines, I moved pretty fast. I graduated at 21. I got my first job immediately. I got married at 24. I had my first baby at 26. And then I thought, that's it. You know, I'm done with all that's expected from me. But no, I couldn't settle. In fact, the pursuit of Sarvottam didn't let me settle. Look, I have done internships and corporate jobs at various media houses, you know, from Aaj Tak to the Times Group to Network 18, worked as a writer, producer, journalist, behind the camera. And then after 5 years, I finally landed a job of a news presenter. A dream job that my mother instilled in me as a child, okay? And before that, there were multiple rejections. Poor English, poor diction, poor pronunciation, curly hair, doesn't fit into the, you know, the definition of a news presenter. Even now, if you see most news presenters have absolutely straight hair. and many more. But when I finally landed that job as a business news presenter, my mother was so proud. She was probably the only one who would wake up at 7 in the morning to watch me. And it continued for another 5 years. 10 years of being in the corporate job. And during that course, of course, I got married. I had a baby who had grown to be 3 years by then. I had what most people would call it as a stable career. No reason to really quit. But और movies में ऐसा चलता है और आजकल Instagram में भी that quit your job, pursue your passion, very fancy. But who will pay the bills? Is it that easy to just quit your job and start pursuing something that you're truly passionate about? And I have been somebody who's always been playing safe in my life. Imagine 10 years of just doing what the society expects you to do. But that's the point. Just because you've checked all the society's boxes, it doesn't mean that your story is over. Sometimes your biggest journey begins after everyone thinks that you've settled down. How many married women here in the crowd? Okay, so you know the struggle. And how many moms in the crowd? Lesser hands. Now, did you know that 73% of Indian women leave the workforce after childbirth? And almost half of those who come back leave again within 4 months. In fact, in India's biggest cities, 69% of women who work out of the workforce say childhood and household responsibilities are the primary reasons for which they've quit their jobs. And given how much I like to tick society's boxes, I was one of them. I thought I would do the same. And during the maternity leave, now you have a lot of time. You had 6 months to just be with yourself and the baby. That's the only break that I got after working for so long, is when I would keep questioning myself. My heart was always restless because I love traveling. I love discovering places. I love telling stories. And somewhere along the way, I realized that I wasn't chasing a job anywhere. I was chasing a purpose. The plan was never to be India's biggest food and travel content platform. In fact, the plan was to build India's most trusted discovery platform, one that genuinely helps people where to travel, what to eat, how do you spend your weekend, which is absolutely worth your time. And that's how Curly Tales was born. Today, that simple idea has grown into communities, which is, of course, millions of people following the platform today. But trust me, it didn't happen overnight. It happened because every day required learning something new. And I think that's what Sarvottam really means, not refusing to settle. Refusing to settle, rather. Choosing excellence over comfort. Choosing growth over familiarity. Choosing to become a better version of yourself every single day. And most importantly, choosing the life of discomfort, of chasing your dreams over the comfort of abandoning them. People think Curly Tales was started after a viral video, but it didn't. It started with me sitting at my dining table after work, writing about that tiny cafe that I found over the weekend, or a place that I traveled to. So it started off as a blog where I would just write articles. Nobody asked me to write. I was just doing it because I like to do it. And because I worked full-time as a news journalist, every morning I would wear blazer, I would walk into the newsroom, I would talk about the stock markets, I would talk about various businesses, then I would come home. And for a very long period of time, I was living 2 lives. One life that paid my salary, and the other that made me feel alive. And here, knowingly or unknowingly, Curly Tales was born in October 2016, 10 years ago, disguised as a very tiny blog. In fact, the name was also very different. The name was Miss Jani. It was not called Curly Tales back then. And quitting wasn't really an emotional decision, to be honest. It had to be a very practical one. So I had made a deal with myself. I picked a number. I said, the day I have 1 lakh followers on Facebook, I will quit my job. And every morning I would wake up to see how many followers I have. YouTube wasn't even a big thing. Instagram, I don't even think was as popular as it is today. So Facebook was the go-to platform. And around that time, I got an invitation from a hotel named the Grand Dragon Hotel in Ladakh. They knew me as a journalist, and the news channel, that got invitation for this said that they were not interested in covering that place. So I remember asking them, which was absolutely ridiculous at that point of time. I said, would you mind if I covered this for my own blog? I mean, think about it. I barely had an audience. My YouTube channel had hardly any subscribers. Curly Tails didn't even exist. And there was absolutely no reason for them to say yes. But guess what? They did. They did just give me a room. They gave me a belief that if you try, something will work out. And sometimes the whole world starts believing in you the minute you believe in yourself. One person, just one person saying yes is what it takes. And then you don't realize how important that yes was until years later. A few months ago, I again visited the hotel, and this time not as a journalist. This time I went there as a founder of Curly Tails. It was not the girl carrying her own selfie camera, hoping that someone would watch. In fact, I went there with my team to create a video, a nice tourism video around Ladakh, and also visited the border villages there for my show Sandesh Se Aate Hain. And I was again welcomed very, very graciously by the same hotel that had me back in 2016. I remember walking into that lobby, and for a few seconds, I just stood there. God has a beautiful way of bringing you back to where it all started. It's not to remind you how far you've gone, but to remind you of who believed in you before you had proof. I've made it a point in life to never forget those people, because success introduces you to many people, but character is remembering the few who stood beside you even before success ever arrived. And standing there, I realized something, that if I had ignored that little voice inside me, I would have never had this opportunity. I would have kept choosing anything that's comfortable than what made me feel truly alive. And that's why I want to tell everyone sitting in this room that do something that make your soul feels alive. Do something that you love to do. Absolutely, it puts you in a flow, it makes you happy. Find that little piece of joy. And for me, I identified it's traveling and it's creating content, it's telling stories around that. You never know which passion project is actually preparing you for the biggest purpose of your life. And especially all the women out there. You know, somewhere along the way, you've been told that once you are married, once you have children, your dreams should become smaller, and then your ambitions should quietly move in the background. Sometimes I feel it's the beginning of a new chapter. Sometimes the conflict isn't in the world, it's within ourselves. You know, one part of you wants security, the other wants significance. And I would say this is not restricted to women alone. It's also for men, to be honest. Because we always go for those routes that we know that is going to give you a short salary by the end of the month. Yes, we do need to have our safety nets, and I'm not saying that. I've said that I myself play very, very safe in this. But I feel like we are always taught that whenever there's a conflict, our dreams should quietly step aside. But if your dream is stubborn enough, don't let it disappear just because life gets busy. If they keep whispering to you, they keep showing up in quiet moments, and if they refuse to let you settle, I'm telling you, there's something magical waiting there. And I can't promise that everybody has the same choices or same support system. I know that's not true. But if a dream keeps coming back to you, don't ignore it. Because when you commit to it with honesty and keep showing up, something magical happens. You start finding solutions. Your family adapts. This is for women, right? A lot of times we give highest priority to our family. But if you are passionate about something, your family will adapt to it over a period of time, depending on how much resilience you have within you. Your routine changes, your priority shifts, and a new system begins to emerge. And that's exactly what happened to me too. When I left my stable 9 to 5 job, I had no idea that the biggest turning point of my life was just around the corner. It was just one honest step that would make me feel alive. Every morning, when the alarm rang at 4:30, most of the city was sleeping. I was already getting ready for my morning bulletin, and that was my routine. After every night, the reason why I bring this up because I spoke about my family. Now, every night, my daughter Ziana would wake up crying because I would leave like at 4:35 and she would be sleeping with me. So, and one fine day, I already had these thoughts in my mind. And I asked her, should Mama quit her job? Because she woke up crying. She said, yes, Mama, please quit your job. I'm not saying my little girl made my career decision. That thought had been living inside me for many, many years, or months rather. But hearing those words from someone so innocent almost felt like the universe is giving me a nudge. So I did it. I left my job. I thought it would be simply just working from home. Turns out, I made the world my home. I still work from every corner of the world. And 2 weeks after I quit my job, I started monitoring, of course, Ziana's screen time. Within 2 weeks, she comes running to me and says, Mama, please join your job back. You know, those things happen. But of course, now there was no looking back. The other thing that I realized that in the journey of being Sarvottam, there is no such thing as perfect balance. There isn't yet in my life. Some days demand more from your family, but the important thing is that you don't stop being yourself while trying to do everything else. So some days will demand more for your family, some days will be work. You will find your rhythm at some point. And leaving a job doesn't mean leaving your office. It just means leaving certainty. And I knew what happened by the end of every month. A salary would be credited, bills would get paid, life feels predictable, and suddenly none of that really exists. But before I resigned, I made a promise to myself that I am not going to judge my dream in the next 3 to 6 months. Because a lot of us, josh mein bas kar diya, and then we'll figure out kya hota hai, and then 2 months no salary, and then we don't know. Guys, don't get me wrong. I'm not inspiring you all to quit your jobs, okay? The idea is just about how whatever your dream, whatever your heart desires is something how you can pursue. So a quick note to the leadership team. I'm not asking them to resign. I'm just sharing my experience. Okay. I said I would give myself an honest 1 or 2 years to whatever I'm really passionate about. You know, because if the dream isn't working, then sometimes we quit just too early. Now, everybody has an opinion when you're doing something new, right? I'm sure even if you are passionate about something, somebody will come and they'll tell you if you're doing, that, oh, you're too late for this. And these are the things that were told to me when I was quitting my job and joining that digital media already has some big players. Why would you leave television? You're already a known face. You worked so hard to become an anchor, and then making food and travel videos wasn't even considered a career. It was just looked at as a hobby, something you do on weekends, but not something and you would never like quit your job just because you want to travel the world, right? Ye Jawani Hai Diwani had not released by then, I guess. And honestly, I don't blame them because they were all looking at the industry and I was listening to my heart. However, I've always believed in not spending too much time talking about my plans, but spend more time building them. Because when you talk, very few people are actually listening. But when your work starts speaking, everyone listens. I didn't see an instant success, okay? It took a very, very long period of time to get my first viral video. And I say this often. When I started publishing videos, there were 2 people who would always like my post or my video. One was my mom, other was my husband, right? These 2 people were at it, encouraging me. So genuinely, I really thank them at that point of time who believed in me, but even more who did not, to be honest. Because, however, I would want to talk about one person who totally believed in Curly Tails before it became the brand it is today. And it was my husband, Samar. There were days when I did question myself. There were days where I wondered, did I make like a really big mistake by just quitting my job and doing this every single time, he would remind me why I had started. And over a period of time, his confidence became my confidence. Looking back today, after everything we've built, and by the way, we work together, he's always in the background and I'm always in front of the camera. I just want to tell all the women out there, you know, I genuinely believe one of the biggest career decisions you will ever make has nothing to do with your career, but choosing the right life partner. Because the right person doesn't simply stand beside your dreams, they expand them. They challenge you when you're thinking too small. They push you when you become too comfortable. Even today, whenever I feel that I'm done, and this is something that he told me when we started Curly Tails, he would say, go big or go home. He didn't give me thoughts like balance, make sure your family's looked after. We were doing this together. And even today, where I feel any sense of complacency, and if I feel like, because there are many food and travel players today, and we're constantly trying to evolve ourselves. You all know how crowded this space is. But just because something is working doesn't mean that you stop evolving. You may have a great startup idea, you may do something that you're really passionate about, but there are many Me Too's in the market who will instantly copy whatever you are doing. So today, there are lots of people who are creating food and travel content, but a few years later, I realized that we need to do something different to stand out. What is the next version of Curly Tails? And that's when another idea was born. Food has always been my excuse to tell stories. So I thought, instead of showing people what celebrities eat, I sat down with them and actually shared a meal with them. How many of you have seen Sunday Brunch on Curly Tails? Yeah, that happens to be one of the most popular shows on Curly Tails, and we have a bunch of them. But Sunday Brunch in particular has been a game changer. My first guest on the show was Aftab Shivdasani, way back in 2019. That was the first show. I convinced him because I'm a Sindhi myself, and I said, let's do a Sindhi meal. He agreed for it. And my next guest was, any guesses who? Which ones have you all seen? Louder, guys. Yeah, you all are naming some really old episodes. But my second guest was Virat Kohli. He launched his restaurant and he invited me over to his brand new restaurant in Delhi. And then the rest is history. I mean, over the last few years, Sunday Brunch has crossed more than 250 episodes. You name it, they're literally all the celebrities who've come on the show. Today, many people know me as a celebrity interviewer, but to me, it was never about interviewing celebrities. It was about finding another way of telling stories with people who can then find something relatable and a connection which brings celebrities closer to them. So with the launch of Sunday Brunch, I felt like life started changing. You know, the same people who once asked about food and travel videos, is that even a career? They started calling Curly Tails as one of India's leading travel and lifestyle platforms. So what started with one girl, one laptop, and a little blog called Miss Jani becomes a community of millions. And if you ask me what moment truly made me pause for gratitude, it wasn't the follower milestone. It wasn't even a viral video. It wasn't even building a company. But it was standing on the stage and receiving National Award Travel Creator 2024 from the Prime Minister of India himself. You know, at that moment, my mind didn't go for the applause. It honestly went back to the newsroom. It went back to those 5 years of auditions before I actually got an anchoring break. It went back to those late nights writing blog articles after office. It went back to refreshing Facebook and waiting to see what's the follower count. It went back to every person who had looked at me and said, that won't work. And standing there holding that award, I smiled, not because I had won something, but because life had answered a question I had been asking myself. Was it worth taking the risk? Well, the answer was standing right there in my hands. It was. The national award wasn't just a recognition. Those dreams don't need anyone's approval, to be honest. It just has to be meaningful enough for you. Sometimes you just need your own commitment. And here's the funny thing. People see the award, they see the Instagram reel, they see the glamorous hotel, but they don't see what happens before the camera starts rolling. They don't see the 3 a.m. script changes, the flights getting delayed, the shoots where the weather doesn't cooperate, the guests who cancel at the last minute. They don't see the founders who are worrying about salaries, the creator worrying about views, and the mother worrying about reaching home in time. Or even the wife wondering if she's giving enough to her family. The glamorous part lasts only for 60 seconds on Instagram. A very successful person you admire has mastered something incredibly boring, and that is showing up again and again and again, even on days when no one's clapping or no one's even looking. No journey towards excellence, to be honest, is complete without failures. And you have to go through that zone to actually figure out what it actually can teach you. I feel excellence is impossible without failures. It teaches you that even success can't. And one of the biggest learnings came when we tried to build restaurants under Curly Tails. I don't know if you had known about a couple of restaurants that we had launched. So we had. On paper, it made perfect sense. You know, we spent years discovering incredible food all across India. We had built a community that trusted our recommendations. So we thought, why not curate experiences of our own that our followers can now actually experience and not just watch? The idea wasn't wrong. What I underestimated wasn't the food. It wasn't even the market. It was the importance of having the right expertise, the right people, and the right operators around you. Because the truth is that I am not a restaurateur, I'm a storyteller. I know how to build communities. I know how to build trust. I know how to tell stories that connect with people. But running a restaurant requires a completely different mindset, requires completely different expertise. I learned it the hard way. We, of course, had to shut the restaurant. And people often ask me, do you consider that as your failure? Honestly, no. I consider it as my tuition fee, the cost of learning. Because some lessons are too valuable to be learned from books. Some lessons you have to live, experience it for yourself. That experience didn't make me stop believing in building food and travel experiences. I promise we'll continue to do that. It simply taught me to understand my strengths better and respect other people's expertise a lot more. And that every dream requires the right people around it. Because the goal is never to get everything right for the first time. The goal is just to learn faster, adapt better, and keep moving forward. You can either let your setbacks become your identity, or you can let them become your education. And maybe that is another meaning of Sarvottam. Somewhere along this journey, chasing Sarvottam, I realized something. Success is important, failure is important, hard work is important, but there's one more thing that is equally important, and that is having the right mentor. Think about the greatest stories that we have grown up with. Lord Krishna had Arjuna. Chanakya had Chandragupta. Ramakrishna shaped Swami Vivekananda. Even the greatest achievers in history never walked alone. They had someone or something that constantly challenged them, guided them, and helped them grow. Now, when people ask me, who has been your mentor? They are often expecting me to name a person. But my greatest mentor has been travel. Travel has been a teacher for me that has never allowed to be too comfortable. Sometimes it has been incredibly gentle. It has rewarded me with breathtaking sunsets, unforgettable meals, friendships. I will cherish all those moments forever. But sometimes it has also been brutally honest. It has left me stranded at airports, pushed me through altitude sickness. It has put me in situations where I had no control. But isn't that what a great mentor does too? It doesn't always want to tell you what you want to hear, but a great mentor will tell you what you need to learn. And every journey that I take today leaves me with a lesson I could never learn sitting back at a desk. And one of my favorite parts of the journey is meeting people, especially senior citizens. Curly Tales attracts a great chunk of audience who are senior citizens. And every time I bump into them at an airport, I love to meet them because when an elderly couple walks up to me and says, Kamya, we watched your video and because of you, we finally took that trip. Every single time I hear that, I get emotional. And this is especially for a lot of temple videos that I have done in the past, which is Kedarnath, Somnath. And when I listen to their stories, I realize something beautiful. Most of them have spent decades taking care of themselves, building careers, raising their families, paying EMIs, fulfilling responsibilities. And somewhere along the way, they quietly postponed everything they wanted to do for themselves. And now with my videos, when they watch it and they tell me that I inspire them, the funny thing is, and rather the truth is that they inspire me. Every time I hear stories from them, they tell me what went wrong during their journeys, what information they couldn't find, what mistakes they made. That becomes an inspiration for me to create another piece of content. One of the most viral videos on Curly Tales is about how to board an international flight. It's something so simple and most of us take it for granted. But when I was making that video, I kept my mom in mind and she had to travel to Dubai. And every single step properly explained. The number of people or moms and dads who have sent an email to me saying that that video was so helpful. I'm sure most of us have taken a flight here, but if we have not, it's not very complicated. People just feel so intimidated. With my video, I thought I could bring them closer to me. And that one video alone has got about 4 million views. But it just makes me feel like I could make a difference. And when they wish that, someone told them everything about traveling the way I did, every conversation with them actually becomes a homework for me. Every story teaches me how to make Curly Tales a little more useful for the next traveler. And I don't know who's teaching who here because I get inspired by them and they feel I inspire them. And sometimes you are a student, every once in a while, you are both. Sometimes you're teaching, sometimes you're learning, and if I had to choose one place that actually changed the way I look, I've taken multiple trips, right? I've traveled quite a bit with my job, but I remember at one point when I visited Arunachal Pradesh, it was the last village, India's last village, looking around, watching children walk miles just to get to school, the distances that they walked, watching families live with limited healthcare facility, limited connectivity, limited access to opportunities. I remember asking myself, when did we become so busy about complaining things that we take for granted or about complaining things that others are still dreaming of? And that journey gave me some perspective. Another place that deeply moved me was Bhutan. Not because of the mountains, not because of the monasteries, but the fact that everyone there embraced their culture. You would always see them wear their own identity with so much pride, their own language, their clothes, their traditions. Even when they are going to work, they are only wearing their traditional clothes. And they weren't preserving the heritage for tourists. They were living it. And I came back wondering that a country as rich as India, if we also celebrated our local cultures every single day, it would be so beautiful. And it really makes me wonder, especially when I also visit the border villages, meeting our soldiers for my show Sandesh Se Aate Hain, I realize that most of these families who live in India, they spend so much, I mean, the families of the soldiers, how much do they miss them? And the conditions in which they live, literally by the border. Imagine spending, I went there only for a week, but that's their life. The Wi-Fi complaint doesn't matter anymore. The delayed flight doesn't matter anymore. The traffic jam doesn't matter anymore. So perspective there changes everything. And that's what travel does to me. People often think travel means changing your location. I think travel changes your lens to see your life. It frees you up from any kind of judgments. You don't come back with souvenirs. Sometimes you come back with a better version of yourself. And maybe that's why I call it as the greatest mentor for myself. I think that's what Sarvottam really asks for all of us, not just to become successful, but to just keep becoming better human beings. And this day we stop learning is the day we stop growing and we stop moving towards excellence. Before I leave the stage, I want to leave you with one final thought. I've spoken a lot about my journey, about curly tails, about travel, about failures and success. But the truth is that this is never about my story. Because when I look at this room and those who've joined us online, I don't see 23,000 employees of SMFG Credit, SMFG India Credit. I see 23,000 different stories. Some of you are first generation professionals. Some of you have moved cities to build a career. Some of you are balancing targets while taking care of your aging parents. Some of you have young children waiting for you to come home tonight. Some of you are fighting silently some battles that no one sitting next to you even knows about. Yet, tomorrow morning, you will wake up, you will get ready, you will show up once again, and that is excellence. Not because somebody is watching, it's because you've made a commitment to yourself. I know many of you work in branches where hundreds of customers walk in every single day. Now, to you, it might feel like another loan application, another customer, another life, another signature. But to that customer, it could be their first home, their first business, their daughter's education, their family's second chance. So never underestimate the impact of the work that you do. Sometimes we become so busy doing our jobs, we forget that we are changing someone's lives. You're not just in the business of lending money. You give loans to the shopkeeper who wants to expand, the woman who wants to start her own tailoring business, the young man buying his first commercial vehicle, the family renovating their homes. You are not really in the business of lending money. You are in the business of turning something very, very ordinary into an ambition and letting them step into the next chapter of their lives. And that, it turns out, is exactly what I have spent my life talking about. Leadership to me is exactly that. It's not about sitting in the biggest cabin. It's about making the person across seen. Anybody who is sitting across, making them feel heard. Now, whether that's your customer, your colleague, your manager, or the security guard who greets you every morning. People don't always remember what you said. They always remember how you made them feel. That's true whether you're building a travel company such as me or one of India's largest financial institutions. No monument was built by one person and no kingdom was built by one king. No company is built by one CEO. It takes thousands of ordinary people doing ordinary things with extraordinary commitment. And that's what creates something remarkable. And that's exactly what you all are doing. So when you walk into work tomorrow, don't just think you are working for SMFG. Think that you have another opportunity to make someone else's life a little better, because that's what excellence really is. It's the difference that you make into this world. So I would like to thank everyone for making me a part of this journey. Chase excellence, be curious, lift people as you climb, and never stop doing the work that makes your soul come fully alive. I wish each one of you your own version of Sarvottam, and I would like to thank SMFG for having me here. Thank you so much. I hope everyone's awake.
Thank you, Kamya. That was highly inspirational. So while you spoke so much of inspiration, you've given us so much of inspiration, I'm sure most of us will be having some questions in our mind. And that's when we now open the house. We would like to know if anybody has a question. Please raise your hand. The team will come up with the mic. Yes, do we have some? Yes, I can see one hand there. Please introduce yourself.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi Kamya, I'm Resham, creator of Resham's Trails and Tales. It's a YouTube channel for travel, food and lifestyle.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's amazing to know.
So that's why your story was very relatable and inspiring. I'm on the same track almost there. So many creators like us put in a lot of effort but still struggle to achieve that first 1,000 subscribers also. So what advice you would like to give creators to stay motivated, stand out of the crowd and just accelerate our growth?
Resham, firstly, congratulations for feeding your soul and chasing your dream. I think when you said stand out of the crowd, I think that's the key. One of the biggest things we should do is to find the gap. What is it that nobody else is talking about today? Because when we started in about 2016, 2017, we had the first mover advantage. And very soon I saw many, even now I think, see, there are about 8 crore content creators in India alone. How do you then make a difference, add value to the content that anybody is consuming? And there are 3 strong pillars for it: educate, inform, or entertain. There are 3 key pillars to any piece of content. And the 4th one I would say is to build your own niche, something that nobody else is doing. So I feel that's the key. And consistency, like I said, it took a long time for me as well to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. It was easier on Facebook. YouTube has been a struggle. But just stay consistent and find that one element that is different, which is nobody else is doing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Resham. Any more questions?
Hi Kamya, myself Mansi. So
Hi,
my
Mansi.
question is, what is the one habit that has contributed your success?
I think attention to detail. That really, I think, is the key. And when we talk about excellence, I feel like that's one element. We are living in the times where every piece of information is very, very easily available. But having an attention to detail, even today, every video that we publish, I watch the video at least 4 times to see that if we've covered every element, what is the value addition that we are doing to the viewer who's investing 20 to 30 minutes of his life into this piece of content. What is the title? What is the thumbnail? I really feel like that one habit, of course, it drives people around me crazy, but I haven't been able to let go of it. And that remains for every aspect of my life, not just work. And I do think there's a lot in just minute details that tells the bigger story.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mansi. Can we have the next question, please? Oh, yeah, here.
Hi Kamya, good
Hi.
afternoon. This is Supriya.
Hi, Supriya.
Thank you for sharing your beautiful journey with us. So, looking back at your journey, what mindset has actually helped you to overcome your setbacks, your self doubt? What advice you would like to share with us?
You know, self-doubt is something uh, that keeps coming up, even today, to be honest with you. But the mindset, I think resilience and something that never back down. Just keep trying. If you feel like you know something, just go at it and keep coming back. No matter how many times you fall, get up and do the job again. Maybe you will try 10 times, but I promise the 11th time you will succeed. So resilience, I would say, is something, it's hard to defeat. It's easy to defeat me, but it's difficult to defeat my mind.
Correct. And how many number of followers you had on Facebook before you quit your job?
So it was the 1 lakh number that I got is when I quit my job. And I think today we have about 5.5 million, 55 lakh people following us on Facebook and similar number on YouTube, 5 million on YouTube.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Supriya. Anyone else? Yeah, there.
Hi Kamya, this is Srividya here. I'm a big fan of yours. So just wanted to ask you, you're the best what you're doing, but you have other teammates also, the girls who are actually sharing their content. For example, the one I just met her yesterday, Kadki Queen. Or
yes,
in the metro.
Megha.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she just told me, ki, how you know, like, have we met before? मैंने बोला, I do know you. So just want to ask you how you motivate them on daily basis. Yeah, what exactly sessions you take with them, because they are doing the best what you're doing. So that's the best part. Like the team handling or leader, as we can see, the team, other girls are also doing the best what you're doing. So how you motivate them on daily basis so they are the best?
Thank you so much, and I'm so glad you bring up Kadki Queen, who is Megha, who's one of the presenters on Curly Tales, and we have many more on the platform. I feel great sense of joy every time they are mentioned because they really work hard. And see, our sessions are very simple. We look at the trends, we watch the video, and we ask, like if Megha is doing a video, I'm going to ask somebody else to see what is it that's one scroll-worthy thing in your video that people are going to actually come to your reel and watch it. What value addition are you making in their lives? Even if it is about finding the Kadki Queen, by the way, is basically the best budget finds in the city. That's what she does. Her character is all about, she is left with very little money by the end of the month. Which are the places that she's going to visit? What are the restaurant deals that she's going to get? So a lot of, I'm sure you guys are not kadkiya at all. But this is more for, you know, college going kids and all. It's amazing. I feel like Gen Zs are very, very talented themselves. The innate desire to keep learning, to keep growing, and we are very competitive when it comes to numbers. So every month we have a meeting. All the content, all the long form videos and all the short form videos that have been published, we check which creator has been able to deliver the best views, best engagement, which only means that we've been able to help more and more people through that piece of content. And whoever does that gets an incentive. Every video on YouTube that crosses 1 million and any producer or editor has worked on it gets an incentive. So it's all a shared success. When we have that shared success, everybody is working towards that common goal. And I feel like that one change that we have recently implemented has made a big difference. Everybody is superbly involved in the piece of content that they are creating or the story that they are telling.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Srividya. We have one more question. 2 more there. Can you just pass on?
Hi Kamya, I'm Sejal.
Hi, Sejal.
Thank you for sharing your journey. I would like to ask, if Curly Tales became a Bollywood movie, then who do you think would be a perfect choice to cast as Kamya Jani?
Do I qualify? Then I would like to play. But, but if not, I would say Priyanka Chopra. What do you think, guys? I think y'all can suggest who. I think Priyanka Chopra because it's only because I love her and I love her journey as to how she's gone on a global scale, and that's the dream that I aspire for Curly Tales as well. And I feel she would be able to depict that story really well with a lot of resilience and and the ambition that she has.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you. Can you pass the mic behind? Acha.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm over here.
Where?
Hi.
Hi.
So, first of all, thank you so much for giving us such a wonderful session. While you were giving the session, you mentioned about the communication, right? You were very bad at communication. Like, how did you master the communication and the art of storytelling?
By standing in front of the mirror and keep talking to myself. Even though people around you may think you are a psycho, but do it. And it's true. I mean, I can't imagine today talking in front of you all. I was very scared of public speaking, being in front of the camera, a lot of self-doubt, low on confidence. But over a period of time, when you keep doing things that really make you feel scared, one day you will just overcome that. Today I'm not feeling scared talking to you all. I'm feeling so comfortable. But I tell you what, reading books, watching English movies, because I was a presenter for an English news channel, and I would say the same for Hindi as well. Now I want to work on my Hindi, and I've been watching Ramayan just so that I get better at Hindi. मैं बोल सकती हूँ हिंदी, but जितने अच्छे, using the right words at the right time, you learn it. I mean, इतनी शुद्ध हिंदी आजकल movies में भी use नहीं होती है or anywhere else. So I'm watching Ramayan now to learn that kind of Hindi. So I feel like we have access to a lot of applications today that can help you build confidence. Videos that you can watch that can help you build confidence. Join a class, personality development class that will help you to build that. And I have done a bunch of those things to be able to speak fluently. Even today, of course, I'm struggling and I'm learning, but I hope and one day I will. And this is what is the pursuit of learning till the last day of your life. And I don't think I would give up on that. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take one last question. Anybody?
Yeah, I think she wants to ask a question. Pink top. Are you going to ask me about curly hair routine? I won't be surprised. That's one of the most frequently asked questions to me, by the way.
So one question will be the same, but my question is, what one fear you have overcome to become the person you are today? Because you are a mother and you left your child home and you started your business and everything. So how you manage this? So what one fear you have overcome to become the person you are today?
You know, we always talk about freedom is one of the best emotions when you feel like you are free to do whatever you want, right? And we feel like it's the world that's restricting us around us to be fully free. But I have realized that freedom begins from within. The minute you set yourself free to be able to do whatever you wish to do is the day when you will see the big difference in your life. You will see how the world around you adapts to you. Of course, as long as you're not harming anyone, not hurting anyone. But if your goals and your dreams are in the betterment of your life, that sense of freedom, of being able to do what you like, and I think I had restricted myself for many, many years to fit myself in the, in the society check boxes that were there. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Can I have Gaurav Tedal to come and give the closing note?
Thank you, Kamya. I think it was lovely hearing you. And when I was sitting there, I love poetries, I love shairis. So I was thinking, what resonates with what you said just now, and if I want to pack it maybe in 2 lines, what would I do? What would I say? I would say, तूफानों से आँख मिलाओ, सैलाबों पर वार करो, मल्लाहों का चक्कर छोड़ो, तैर के दरिया पार करो. Okay, to my Japanese colleagues, I will translate it later. I think, Kamya, we keep hearing curiosity kills the cat, right? But in your case, I think for all human beings here and otherwise in the world, you are one such example where curiosity actually created learning, created a platform, created, a whole full life which is inspiring, so many of them. But I want to complain. When you spoke to the audience here, you said two things that kept me worried. One is you are selling them alternate career. As an HR, I get worried about it. Second, I am a husband. You said choose the right partner. I don't want things to be triggered on the other side. Having said that, I think Sarvottam Masterclass, we actually have to go to YouTube, Instagram for Curly Tails, but Ravi Narayanan got Curly Tails to SMFG India. Thank you so much, Kumar, Gaurav, and the entire marketing team to put up such a lovely stage and a platform for all of us to be here and start something which all of us resonate to. But I think this is a platform which we need to take to every branch, to every state, to every region, to share stories and become a better version of ourselves. So thank you so much, Kamya, once again for coming here. Thank you, Ravi. Thank you, marketing team. And thank each of you who some or the other way is inspiring someone. So keep doing that. One day I would love to have some of y'all, while it will contribute to attrition, no problem. But I want some of y'all to stand here at this stage or somewhere else, bigger, better, and tell your story. Thank you so much. Thank you. Just to close this session, I would request Kamya to be on the podium, plus Ravi Narayanan sir.
A gesture from a family.
Gesture from us.